Раз. Раз. Все работает, окей. Такс. Так. Ставим нормально. Это сюда. Опс. Ага. Итак, это, наверное, можно закрыть, в принципе. Или нет, подождем. Просто чтобы видеть состояние. Это, наверное, можно убрать. Так. Сюда так пойдет. Просто чтобы видеть. О, так идеально. Чат работает, все видно. Так, здесь. Ну, тот, кто пришел на трансляцию или будет смотреть ее, всем привет, как говорится. Продолжаем покорять Геншин, точнее его мир. Переключаемся и поехали. Я немного побегал здесь и поднял левел, чтобы продолжать. Как его там? Ну, то самое. Сюжетку. Сейчас я пока что временно, кстати. Момент пока что грузится. Рита, душечки. Такс. Надо, кстати, еще один момент проверить. Сейчас. Вообще как? А, все, да, в том, что оно работает. Так, это так, это так. Это активировать. Вот, все. Такс. Так, это понятно, это не сюда нам. Нам нужен журнал заданий. И да, кстати, еще один момент проясню. Ну да, сюда. А, это просто он не обозначен. А что так не обозначает? Не обозначается. Я, короче, взял и немножко здесь пробегал. То есть вот. Немножко открыл территорию. Чтобы в будущем было легче проходить и добираться до этой точки. А вот туда дальше я не могу, потому что, как мне подсказал мой друг, она находится за сюжеткой. Так что никак без этого. Надо проходить сюжет и только потом как бы да-да. Чувствую, кто-то мне не вовремя написал. Сейчас опять же возьмем. Ага. Что там получается у нас? А, сегодня отдыхаю. Так, пока что тогда вот так вот сделаем. Так. Так. Так, сейчас, так. Здесь, получается, у нас, я так понял, обновление вышло. Ну да. Это я не помню. Вот насчет нее ничего. А вот это какой для меня новый персонаж. Хотя не, он вроде тоже был. Сверкающая поступь. Странно. Это обозначает то, что ее апнули. Потому что также было сказано то, что что-то ее занерфили. О, и вон что еще. О, это что такое? О! Угу. Ну, так как я решил играть через это, да, вот. Это так, что лучше вот это. Выберем через хедз. Да, хедз, правильно, хедз. Такс. Путь воплощения механика включен текущий цикл молитвы, ТРТТ. Курсы на желаемое оружие. Если вы получите оружие 5, которое не соответствует вашему выбору, то вы получите 1 очко судьбы. Когда вы наберете достаточно ваше следующее оружие 5 будет тем самым с помощью ТРТТ. Ага, очки судьбы. Где эти очки судьбы взять? Сейчас бы это еще узнать. Так, ну ладно, это мы потом посмотрим. Здесь у нас получается что? Это за ежедневное посещение, которое я в итоге немножко потом забыл. Ну, не страшно. Так, это мы тоже берем. Так. Ну, это обновление, которое вышло новое пока что. Это тестовый... то есть вот. Если нам один из персонажей выпадет, то мы сможем его заапать. Но вот это, кстати, персонаж у меня есть. Рейзер. Но за него я пока не играю. А вот это прикольненький. Но он что-то... Сколько, да, 4, как бы. Прикол вот в этих. Хотя фиг знает. Так, ладно. Сейчас посмотрим, там еще что-нибудь есть у нас. В магазине что-то появилось. А подожди, не-не-не-не-не-не. Здесь еще что-то появилось. Вот. 3 сотки. Еще 3 сотки. Хорошо, это хорошо. Так. Ну. А теперь погнали. Ага. Нам, значит, куда-то сюда надо. А можно с ними не драться, пожалуйста? Ай-ай-ай-ай. Походу не получится без этого. Да. Не. Ладно. Будем работать иначе. Что это такое? Какая-то зеленая фигня. Здесь, наверное, лучше с помощью Эмбер все-таки. Потому что мы хотя бы собьем их. Так как они наверху мешаются. Отлично. Еще и всякие... Нет, давай ты используешь. Плюшки получили. Нормально, нормально. Идем. Пара-пам-пам. Ага. Наверное, ты зря сделал. Но об этом мы будем думать потом. Тихо. Сейчас немножко отдохнем. И дальше пойдем. Так, здесь, наверное, конечно... Оп. По деревьям как-то, да? Все немножко непонятно, блять. И как? Че это было? Угу. Вообще должно быть немножко более логично все. И он должен цепляться хотя бы. Но он не хочет цепляться. В самой природе это непонятно. Давай, давай. Вот. И все. Создает проблему. Чик-чик-чик. Так. Оп. Не понял. А. Угу.
This is bad. Paimon's supposed to be your guide, but Paimon doesn't know where the way up to the Jade Chamber is. Well, since we want to go to the Jade Chamber, heading to its location on the map is the sensible thing to do. Let's look around. There has to be a way up there nearby.
Даже, кстати, отсюда можно какую-нибудь превьюшку взять. Так. Ладно, погнали туда пока что. Слушай, пока не намека никакого. Это что за камень? Я правильно думаю о том, о чем я думаю? Ну да. О, ты умеешь все-таки задевать? Хорошо. Бумс. И готов, парень.
See, just follow my intuition.
Не надо проходить мимо сундуков. И все же мне непонятно, а где находится вот эта звездочка, что ли? А где он? А, вон он. О. Это что такое?
Hey, look! There's some sort of mechanism thingy. Since this is the right place, it must have something to do with the Jade Chamber. Yes, this must be the way.
Конечно, это навряд, но... А вот если бы у меня не было ветряного мальчика, тогда бы что? Оп. Отлично.
It only takes us up to here. Aw, if that wind current was stronger, we'd be able to reach the top in one... Huh? Why? Or... Oh, Paimon gets it! If it was a secret, Ganyu wouldn't have let us try to find it ourselves, right? Alright, let's follow your plan. Then we can... Oh, hang on a moment. Look down there. Looks like we've gotten close to the Guizhong Ballista. Paimon has a new idea.
У меня тоже.
Why don't we
Запульнуть
shoot
стрелу.
you up to the Jade Chamber using the ballista? No. Paimon may have just forgotten to think about the safety measures. Oh, that's right. Now that you mention it, we could use the Guizhong Ballista to see if there's another way up nearby.
See, just follow my intuition.
Так. Итого. Что у нас есть? То, что у нас сейчас направят из катапульты как орла, как птичку. Либо просто как с пушки выстрелим. Хотя как-то странно на самом деле это вот. Нам же сюда? Ну да, сюда. Ну, кто бы сомневался, что вас здесь не будет, парни.
Halt!
Ага.
Who trespasses on these hallowed grounds?
Exactly. What are you talking about? We're invited guests. What makes you think you can treat us like this? No. Wait. Maybe this was Ningguang's plan all along. She pretended to invite us to the Jade Chamber, but set up a Millilith ambush here to... now Paimon's mad! You! Over there! This is a trick, isn't it? How shameless!
What? We're just on guard duty. What do you mean, shameless?
Ага, стоят на страже только после того, как мы починили эту баллисту. Пока что мы ее не починили, не прогнали этих разбойников. Их здесь даже не было. То есть вы, получается, просто, я не знаю, как... Не чучело, а как там его назвало? Хотя, может, и чучело, которое в огороде стоит.
What nonsense! Seize these suspicious intruders at once.
Ну давай, давай.
Here they come.
Давай, давай, попробуйте.
No escape.
Так. Пошло. А все, да? Уже не такой крутой. О, ты можешь драться? Это неплохо. Откуда ты взбираешься? А, ты невысоко падаешь? Только не говори то, что ради одного дуренька нам придется сейчас этот... взбираться назад. Ой, слава тебе, хорошо. Так. Полетел. А, здесь вон как. Ну ты как, а? Что бы вы ни задумали... Больно вообще-то. Нет. Скажи то, что тебе все, хорошо.
Stop. What's all this about?
Опа. Это что за цыпаска?
Lady Coaching, these two strange people suddenly appeared. They seem to have designs on the Guizhong ballista.
Who are you calling strange?
Угу.
You want to go to the Jade Chamber?
О,
Who are you?
вот этот персонаж мне больше всего понравился. Просто внешне.
We're invited guests here to look for the Liyue Qixing. Who are you?
Согласен, невежливая.
Well, as it happens, I am one of the Liyue Qixing.
Oh,
I'm Kuching, the Yuheng of the Qixing. I know of you, traveler. You're Ningguang's guests, yes? Didn't expect to meet you here in the mountains.
wow. Paimon didn't think we'd meet some super rich big shot out here in the middle of nowhere either.
The Guizhong Ballista in Tianheng Pass has long been in disrepair, and yet it was fixed in a single night. I came here to investigate that occurrence. These Millilith are just here to guard the scene, not to arrest anyone.
So this was all a misunderstanding? Paimon never would have thought.
Блин, ты такие подколы.
Anyway, for a mortal to be able to repair an adepti mechanism is quite the mystery.
А мы починили. Это мы сделали. Мы.
That was... Eh? Oh, right. So, Lady Yuheng, might you have any idea why Lady Tianquan invited us to go to the Jade Chamber?
Кстати, сейчас я посмотрю. Я не знаю, почему здесь не выставилась игра, что ли. Да, не выставилась. Сейчас выставим. Чтобы искалось, что ли, легче получается. Ну-ка. Потому что иначе не натыкается. Так, это сюда. Ага, все. Так, продолжаем.
Just call me Kuching. I'd say that Ningguang's purpose is to request that the savior of Mondstadt take a more neutral stance. Or at least, to not wholly side with the Adepti.
We're not taking sides. We spoke with the Adepti. They want to protect Liyue as well.
Она электрическая, походу.
When you say protect, you're referring to their sanctimonious arrogance, aren't you?
Так, им не нравятся, походу, боги. Так, так, у тебя вот так вот немножко стянем. То не видно.
You are mortals and thus under their protection. There was no way they would have regarded you as someone with the ability to assassinate a god.
Запросто, я бы им еще и под зад хорошенько дал бы.
Naturally, they would also regard Ningguang's locking down the area, questioning the citizenry, and pursuit of the assassin to be pointless work. Perhaps they even wonder if there might be a cover-up.
Какая странная прическа, мне непонятно. Лучше я вот так вот, что ли, как-то сделал, не знаю. Нет, тоже. Не знаю, не получается.
I'll say it like it is. They're underestimating us.
Well, you've got a point there. Still, this is the first time Paimon's seen a person from Liyue who doesn't respect the gods or the Adepti.
Should I respect the shallow sense of time and condescension to mortals that has caused them to delay in moving against us, Qixing? Forget it. I shouldn't speak of them this way. This skepticism is mine alone, and Ningguang does not share it.
Ну, у каждого своя точка зрения, правильно? Так что это нормальное явление. То, что каждый придерживается своего.
I will admit that the actions of the Adepti this time were quite restrained. Rex Lapis's death is indeed an extraordinary circumstance. But to think that they would call for a council of Adepti rather than come down here directly. How surprisingly civilized of them. Well, for Ningguang, she would talk anything and everything out if she could. But I doubt we can do that here. The time of the Adepti has long passed. If even the Liyue Qixing don't want to face that truth, then what future is there for Liyue?
Она не разговаривала только что.
Another super bold statement.
I'll stop here. Honestly, I hadn't intended to say so much. But you're a good listener, traveler.
Это у меня путешественник еще и
You
разговаривать не
should both
умеет.
be off to the Jade Chamber. Don't be late now. Ningguang's schedule is packed to the gills all the way till next year. The cream of Liyue's mercantile crop all see ascending to the Jade Chamber as the greatest honor. Each brings rich gifts as they visit, all to curry a little favor with Ningguang.
Favor? But... Wait, that's right! Greeting gifts are a staple of Liyue's culture! We need to get one. Not to curry favor or anything, just to respect Liyue's culture.
Alright. You can decide on your greeting gift yourselves. Let me tell you how to get to the Jade Chamber first. You didn't actually have to come to Mount Tianheng. Go back to Liyue Harbor. Find a guide at the Yuehai Pavilion, and... Well then. May we meet again, traveler.
Well, that Yuheng may not respect the gods, but Paimon thinks she's a pretty cool person. So, what should we give to Ningguang when we see her? Oh, right! Paimon dreamed of an amazing snack last night! Sugar-frosted slime! Paimon has a feeling that it would be perfect for a super rich person like Ningguang. Why don't we go with that for a gift? Nope! But Paimon's sure that we just need to make it with some boom shakalaka. Let's go gather ingredients. Time waits for no one, and neither will our riches.
Да, богатенький график, плотный. Так. Все 3 ингредиента там, дальше находятся. Ну ладно. Это что еще за тигр? Это... Че? Чух.
Ooh, look at that slime! It looks crystal clear!
Ну, здравствуй.
They're delicious! That's the one!
Готово, первый готов. Где? Тьфу, блин. Я уж подумал, что это важно. Так, подожди. А где третий? Не в одном же месте они находятся? Или в одном? О, даже так?
Is it just Paimon? Or is there a sweet fragrance in the air? Huh? Did you hear that? No! That was definitely someone in trouble. It came from those ruins over there. Uh-oh. It looks like the treasure hoarders have locked someone inside.
Ну как вы несете?
There's no end to this.
Propagate!
Не, все-таки у моего главного героя как-то побольше пока что дэмэджа. Он, конечно, прекрасно понимает, за чего это.
Out of the frying pan, into the fire!
That's how you want it.
Почему по мне огонь бил все-таки? Свои лопаты что-то. Что ты хотел этим показать? О, это как? Подожди, блин, а. Ладно. Окей. Окей. Не получилось так, получится по-другому. Использовать.
Thank you for your help, kind travelers. If you hadn't come to my aid, I surely would have rotted in this cell. Those treasure hoarders. When their mood was good, they'd rearrange those pots of sweet flowers. When they were in a bad mood, they'd rearrange my face.
Какое интересное нынче за развлечение у кого-то. У разбойников. Сажать цветочки.
I was nothing. No need to thank us all at once or anything.
I understand. Don't worry. I will compensate you both. Don't say that. I only escaped this predicament because of you.
Да ладно, ты что-нибудь придумал?
I'm Meng Dan, a supplier for Mingxing Jewelry in Liyue Harbor. I often walk around these mountains in search of antiques.
А он, наверное, нам сейчас подарок
I
подарит,
never
скорее всего,
expected
да?
that those treasure hoarders would have their eyes on the same ruins that I had. Before I knew it, they'd caught and imprisoned me. Is there anything that you lack? Antiques, treasure, various knickknacks, you name it. Well, as long as you want what I have to offer, of course.
Не, ну как это я сделал не ради награды? Не совсем как ради награды, хоть какое-то что-то получить.
Wait a moment. Actually, we are looking for something.
А может у него сразу два этих слизня
Oh.
будет?
And what might that be?
Do you have a box that can store presents? We'd
А,
like a pretty
ну
one.
или так.
The kind that you can use to store snacks.
Of course we do. How can one sell antiques without gift boxes? At Mingxing Jewelry, we have the best gift wrapping service in the 7 nations.
Это прям как на рынке. Приходишь на рынок, и тебе каждый продавец практически говорит: у меня самый идеальный товар, у него не покупай. Я тебе еще скидку сделаю, а еще и на второй подарок дам.
Now just give me a moment, and I'll let the boss know. You can go see her whenever you require that box.
Great! Paimon's sugar frosted slime now comes in a beautiful package.
В итоге мы сюда зашли ради того, чтобы только старика спасти. Обидно, обидно. Подожди. Всего лишь один же был слайм. Куда мы, зачем за коробкой идем, если у нас... А, или Нет, нет, глупость какая-то. Там 1 из 3 было. Но он засчитался как 3 из 3 из-за того, что он слишком большой. Довольно-таки странно. Это и есть босс?
Hey there! A guy called Meng Dan told us that we could get a nice and shiny box from your store.
Uncle Meng already told me about it. Thank you both for saving him. Many of the best goods in our store were found by Uncle Meng. If anything were to happen to him, it would be impossible for us to continue doing business.
А кто босс тогда? А, да, смотри-ка, владелец.
Here, this container is itself an antique, with at least 140 years of history. It's already been cleaned. Will it do?
Сколько? 140 лет? Коробки какой-то? У нас от тела коробки в наше время живут 2 года. Ну это прям максимум, наверное. А тут 140 лет коробки. Ее там что, полируют чем-то?
Yep. It's great!
А?
Hang on a moment. Could we borrow one other thing?
Да, конечно, за дополнительную плату.
Sure. Please help yourselves, as long as it's on our shelves.
Опа. Я так понял, это кто-то из чата, но пока что я, наверное, не приму. Потому что сюжет нельзя вместе проходить. Я бы принял, конечно. Но у меня пока что не открыто ничего. Ну, кроме сюжетки, потому что остальное все попроходил. Как бы можно побегать по миру и там локацию позакрывать. Ну, это, наверное, относительно потом. Потому что в первую очередь охота бы этот было. Упереться в тупик по левелу, а потом уже везде бегать.
Oh, yes. You might want to use these 2 freshly picked flowers as decorations, too.
Woohoo! It looks beautiful! Great! Now that we've put all that we've got into this box, let's go to the Jade Chamber to see Ningguang.
Хорошо. Так, нам куда? Куда? Так. Окей. Теперь сюда. Оп. Я даже этот, ну, просто чтобы было, покажу. То есть, вот эти, это, конечно, повседневные задачи, а вот это уже отдельно, это, то есть, это потом проходить. Ну и здесь вот, то есть, некоторые здесь моменты есть, которые пока что мне не открыты. Те же маячки, там то ли слишком сильно огонь нужен, то ли еще что-то такое подобное, которое моментально разогревает, потому что даже Эмбер, ну, с помощью Эмбер я не смог как-то разогреть эти льды. Хотя все должно было сработать. А, нам вон к тому чуваку. Только не буянь.
According to Kuching, this is what we should say. Excuse me, do you sell the moon here?
Yes. How many would you like?
Одна.
It's not convenient to speak of numbers here.
Ah, well said. Please, use this to ascend to the chamber.
Yep.
And yet the code they used was not the one for guess, but for the Yuheng. What's going on here?
Наверное, мы с тобой... Не с тобой. Надо подумать, мы необычные гости, да? Ну, ты, наверное, впервые такое видишь, проводник. Точнее, слышишь даже, а не видишь. Кстати, прикольно с этого дворца и полетать. Прям так. Уфаля, какие у него ноги. Я ожидал на тебя пришедшие. Ага.
It's Ningguang. Since this is our first meeting, we've prepared a gift.
Oh, for me. You have my thanks. It seems that I have made things difficult for you, considering that you were supposed to be my guests.
Oh no, it's nothing.
I'm glad you like it too. This palace floats in the skies, higher than the peak of any mountain. From this vantage point, one may survey all of Liyue.
Интересно, с помощью чего он парит? Если, допустим, адепты это боги, скажем так, то она что, тоже не человек, что ли, с помощью какой-то магии?
I have been gathering the funds necessary to build it from the time I began learning the merchant's craft. And since becoming the Tianquan, I have spared no effort in hiring the best craftsmen to constantly extend it. At first, it was but the size of one room. Now, it is large enough to blot out the moon in the skies above Liyue.
Там какие-то механизмы, с помощью них, но все равно он держит такую потягу, такую огромную, как сказать, площадь. Это...
One day, I believe it will overshadow all 7 nations.
Ага. Мне кажется, к тому времени ты уже бабушкой станешь.
Not many from outside Liyue earn the right to ascend to the Jade Chamber. But I have been in correspondence with the acting Grand Master of the Knights of Favonius, who spoke highly of you.
Ну да, я популярная личность. Поэтому
As such, I have been putting eyes and ears out ever since you reached Liyue.
What?
And I finally got wind of your movements when you were on the way to Wangshu Inn.
Wait, was Vergoldet one of your people?
Just Vergoldet? Everyone at Wangshu Inn is one of ours.
О как. Я думаю, здесь был мат. Но его запикали.
At the Guizhong Ballista, yes?
You weren't peeking on us from the skies the whole time, were you?
I fear that peeking would have been a little difficult from this altitude. Our eyes and ears are more than sufficient. You two are very interesting people, after all. It would be natural to take an interest. Well, I wouldn't expect you to trust us, considering that you have had far more interactions with the Adepti. The reason I invited you here was to clear up some misunderstandings.
Пошли проясним. Вот так вот прям снова?
I believe that you've heard of the Archon War. Many gods used to walk this earth, and many long wars were fought between them that did not abate until 2,000 years ago. Much blood was shed, and many lives were lost.
Интересно, из разговора можно понять то, что когда-то до всего этого игра как бы была жестокая. Много кровища было. А сейчас она более детская стала.
In the end, only 7 victors remained standing in Teyvat. They built cities and nations on the corpses of the vanquished, and thus began the era of the 7. You can see Goyun Stone Forest from here, I trust. It is no natural rock formation. Those are giant spears of rock hurled by Rex Lapis during the war. Beneath the spears lie those cast down by Rex Lapis in those days, gods that failed to seize the title of Archon. Not only is it true that gods may die, but so too has the membership of the 7 changed over the last 2 millennia. Rex Lapis's passing is an unimaginable disaster for Liyue, but the Order of the 7 will not collapse simply because of that. Another Lord of Geo will arise sooner or later. Yet, how are we to forget Rex Lapis? When that time comes, the relationship between the people of Liyue and the gods and Adepti will surely be different from before. Even in a new era, the Liyue Qixing remain Rex Lapis's former subjects. Do you really think us capable of having played a part in his demise? Of lacking the foresight to see the certain repercussions?
Все-таки нет.
That day at Yujing Terrace, it was also very sudden. Even I was caught completely off guard. You were there, you no doubt saw. But our enemy has long lain hidden within the harbor. If we do not act against them now, they will surely gain the upper hand. Hiding the Exuvio was a necessary maneuver to take the initiative back, to play the spider while our foes scurry about.
Who's this enemy you're talking about?
What do you think, traveler?
Huh? What are you two talking about?
Well answered. The scenery out here is fine indeed, but the wind is a little strong. Our preparations to receive guests within are complete, so please, this way.
Не-не-не-не-не, пока не. Пока нет. У меня пока что нету никаких проходилок. У меня пока что чистый сюжет. Только после чистого сюжета.
Wowee! What a huge hall! Paimon's never seen such a fancy place before.
Ну, он не такой большой, конечно. Опа. О, можно я тебя немножко здесь связану? Это я возьму. Это я возьму. Чего у тебя еще можно взять? Так, ну вроде пока что все. Пока что больше ничего не взяли.
Make yourselves at home if you wish.
Can we really?
I have invited you two here as friends. And when friends come over to play, Our enjoyment comes first. Naturally.
Ooh, isn't this that legendary wall?
Why, you've kept your ear to the ground, I see.
That's because even the storytellers are talking about it. Everyone's after a piece of paper from that wall. It's super famous.
That's because that wall records Leo's secrets. Merchants have always been attracted to secrets. But the secrets of the mercantile world are of no interest to you, are they, traveler? You're rather special, really, and I think you're quite aware of that. If possible, I'd like to have your trust. But if you were to choose the more trustworthy person between myself and Kuching... You'd pick Kuching? Nah, I had a feeling. I originally thought her a bit too hard-headed. With someone of her character on the Chising, I've had some extra messes to clean up behind the scenes. But after she said those words, the time of the Adepti has long passed. If even the Liyue Chising don't want to face that truth, then what future is there for Liyue? Well, I must say that quite a few of my doubts have been dispelled. I won't deny that Rex Lapis's passing seems advantageous to us. But, for Liyue's sake, we cannot allow ourselves to be shackled by rumors of our usurpation of power. Indeed. It seems that you understood what I meant to say from the very beginning. I called for the gag order and for the Exuvia to be hidden to temporarily stabilize the situation, and also to prevent something similar to the incident in Mondstadt. With Rex Lapis's death, the Fatui have busied themselves with many clandestine actions beyond their diplomatic remit. As the Tianquan, one responsible for Liyue, I cannot be too concerned with appearances when opposing them. Allowing the rite of parting to take place was also meant to buy some time for us to take control of Liyue's administration.
It's exactly as Zhongli said. The Chising only provided the venue for their rite so they could use us for their own ends. Wait, that's right. Speaking of ends, could I say one other thing?
Of course.
Paimon's heard that anyone who sends a greeting gift gets a little something in return. So, does that include us?
Какая наглая все-таки эта консерва бывает.
It's all right. I like direct people. Well, we have made quite a bit of trouble for you recently. How about this? You can pick any one object here as you please.
А вот это уже интересно.
Yay! Paimon was just waiting for you to say that. Let's see, what should we get? One of the sheets on that wall. Don't look at Paimon like that. One of these sheets of paper will sell for crazy prices, even if it's only as large as Paimon's fingernail. Just imagine how much more a whole untorn sheet would sell for. Let's grab one, the biggest one. Huh? Well, that was an easy search. The biggest sheet is right up there in the most obvious spot. Let's go with that one. La 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 la. Let's see what's written on it. Huh? There's a place marked with a circle on here. Oh, could it be treasure? Whatever it is, it better make us filthy rich. Let's see what's written over here. Sigil of permission, something, something, Fatui, research, copy. Huh? Aw, that doesn't sound like treasure at all. This piece of paper shows that a Chising spy discovered traces of classified Fatui research on the Sigil of permission. Oh, Ningguang did say that the Fatui have been up to all kinds of mischief in the shadows of Liyue. Spreading rumors, wanting to get their hands on the Archon's body and whatnot. But research on the Sigil of permission? Paimon wonders what they're up to. Speaking of which, there's also some connection between you and the sigil of permission. Seems there's still more for us to find out. Oh, you really think so? Well, should we not go then? Oh, so you're saying that it's precisely because we can't completely trust Ningguang that we should confirm the truth of what she says for ourselves. That's way out of Paimon's league. Paimon thinks she's been nothing but good to us. Anyway, we'll see if you're onto something. Before we look for Zhongli at Dihua Marsh, let's go to the place marked out on these papers and see if the Fatui really are up to no good there.
Опа. И 29-й получил. Хорошо. Это прекрасно. Если еще и по пути получим 30-й, это вообще будет прекрасно. Так мы сразу сможем пойти, получается, там на миссию, где 32-й нужен ранг. Я думаю, это будет сложновато. Так, нам сюда куда-то. Туда мы и пойдем. Туда мы и двинем свои ножки. Так, нам туда куда-то. Хотя у меня ребята покоцаны, ну ладно. Нет, это я устану бить. Ну здесь явно ребята охраняют так плотно все. Так, вот этим ребятам, конечно, по-хорошему не попадаться. Но это по-хорошему. А мы же любим по-хорошему. Вот черт. Не есть хорошо. Вот это тоже не самое лучшее, что может быть. И как мне теперь с ним сражаться? Пум. 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 Ладно, будем столько долбить в лицо. А, зачем? Угу. Другого варианта я пока что что-то не рассматриваю. Как ты меня задел? Не-не-не-не-не. Давай его оживим. Хорошо. Что-то мы сделали. Так, и даже у меня все равно дофигища. Так что надо бы... Ой, я не туда шел. Не туда, не туда. Мне в инвентарь нужно. Еда, еда, еда. О. Тут ему. Хорошо. Потом ему. Эй. Эй. Ну это шунда с дофига. Второго. Нельзя ему. Надо в контроле его держать постоянно. Отлично. Так. Здесь как будто что-то открывается. Только вот что. Допустим, это что такое? Два активировать нужно. Давай активируем 2. Где? Кто? Так, пока он работает, надо второй активировать. Не понял. Не все так работает? Где еще? Там что ли наверху где-то? О, сундук.
Oh, it's all coming out now.
Так. Но если здесь ничего нету, значит, скорее всего, где-то наверху что-то. Ага.
There are so many talismans here. And some stacks of blank paper too. Paimon's seen this pattern before. But where? Oh, Paimon knows! It looks just like the sigil of permission the child gave you. But how did a relic of your death die end up in the hands of someone like Child? Suspicious. Oh, that's right. Cloud Retainer said that when the Lord of Geo created the Sigil of Permission, it wasn't to be used as some old relic. Talismans like that were once used in the Archon War to channel divine powers. Maybe the Fatui are copying the Sigil of Permission in hopes of achieving a similar effect. Being able to channel divine power in battle? Whew, that sounds pretty dangerous. And the plot thickens. We'll need to keep an eye on Child, that's for sure. Alright, that's enough sticking around here. We gotta go meet up with Zhang Li soon. The last stop on our rite of parting preparations tour is Dihua Marsh. Let's go! Paimon hates being late.
Так. Пока что непонятно, что с этими 3 пьедесталами, но скорее всего с ними будет. Чё? Потом будет ясно. Ты активировался все-таки. Ну извини, браток. Нам с тобой не по пути. Потом разберусь, скорее всего. О-ля-ля. Не надо. Не надо. Не долетело. Это вот это? Джунли. А Чайлд, это, скорее всего, блондинчик вроде.
Right on time. I myself only arrived moments ago. Did you enjoy your visit to the Jade Chamber?
Ну так неплохо было.
So big and pretty and expensive. Paimon's never seen such a fancy schmancy place before.
Indeed. It's second to none in all of Liyue. Then you met with Ningguang, I trust? What did you talk about with her?
She's super rich and so generous. Paimon thinks she's very friendly. Yeah, his take on Ningguang is quite different from Paimon's. He thinks that even the tactless Yuheng is more trustworthy than her.
Oh, So you also met with Kuching then? What did she have to say?
She said, the time of the Adepti has long passed. If even the Liyue Qixing don't want to face that truth, then what future is there for Liyue?
No respect for the divine. Indeed, contrary to the ever-bold Kuching, Ningguang is more of a businesswoman at heart, though they are both members of the Qixing. Although she's friendly, there's no way of clearly discerning her true intentions. Yes, she has only relied on herself to rise to her current position. No ordinary person could ever achieve that. It's said that she's the one behind the constant expansion of the Jade Chamber. It's the second most important thing to her. Even if she ever gave up the position of Tianquan, she would never give up the Jade Chamber.
The Jade Chamber is only second. What's the most important thing to her then?
Why, Mora, of course.
All Ningguang talked about was the Fatui this and the Fatui that. She said that after Rex Lapis was murdered, the Fatui have constantly been trying to sink their fingers into Liyue, and that they aren't to be trusted.
That is how the Fatui have always been. It doesn't surprise me in the least. No matter what they may be planning, you must be careful when dealing with the Fatui. Always be on your guard.
So, is there anything we need to get for the rite of parting in Dihua Marsh?
Yes, as a matter of fact, there is. Today, we'll be gathering wild glaze lilies.
Glaze lilies? But why did we come all the way out here? Doesn't the garden in Yujing Terrace have some? Even Qingse Village has glaze lilies. Oh, right! Paimon remembers that Madame Ping is always tending to flowers. Maybe we could ask her.
No. Those lilies have all been gardened by people. They won't do it all. Dihua Marsh used to be full of glaze lilies. It is a sort of joyful flower that listens to human song. Before the Archon War, Dihua Marsh was all dry land and fertile soil. But the war caused landslides, and the land was flooded, turning it into the marsh you see now. Nearly all the glaze lilies were wiped out. Of course, there are some kinds of flowers that have been preserved and gardened by people in the city. But very few people know that glaze lilies may still be found in the wild. Wild glaze lilies have the strongest fragrance. If we want to follow the true tradition of the rite of parting, we must grind up the wild lilies and place the powder in a censer of everlasting incense. But I'll need your assistance in gathering these flowers. No, I need you to sing to them. Singing to the flowers will make them more fragrant.
So how good is your singing?
Давай проверим этот высокую самооценку.
Really? Why doesn't Paimon believe you?
We'll only know once he starts singing.
Я согласен, что Пайман может сомневаться, так как ни разу наш герой за все время не заговорил нормально. Так.
It's time to sing whenever you're ready.
Da 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 da.
Наш герой умеет петь?
What happened? These flowers are jumping. They look really angry. Is it because you sang a song for Mondstadt that they don't understand Liyue?
Bring it on!
Блин, они 40-е, вот это плохо. Потому что мои герои тоже как бы 40-е, и помимо этого еще и оружие слабое. Нет, такими темпами нас сейчас задолбят. Чувствую, я промахнулся.
No escape.
Truth hurts.
Those weren't glaze lilies. Glaze lilies wouldn't hit people.
This little monster is known as a whopper flower. Strange. These petals look interesting. The glaze lilies used as a disguise were buried with the whopper flower for too long. The result seems to have surprisingly potent medicinal value. Let's collect what we can of these petals.
Well, that's nice and all, but will those petals be useful for the rite of parting?
Unfortunately, no.
That's so lame.
Excuse me.
Опа.
Are you searching for glaze lilies?
Oh, hey, it's... What's her face? Paimon can't remember.
Hello, traveler. I'm surprised you still remember my name.
Да, у меня память, блин, прекрасно.
That reminds me. How was your visit to the Jade Chamber?
Well, it sure would have been better if you told us how to get up there.
Didn't I tell you the way? Surely I did.
Ты вообще ушла, убежала?
Oh, I see. I guess I really did forget to tell them.
Something seems a little off about Ganyu. She's acting different from the first time we met. Where's her serious attitude now?
Ah, well, I met you at that time as an emissary of the Tianquan. But now, I am simply out on a stroll to see the flowers.
Поэтому
You
не
came all
хотела
the way
ничего
out here to
рассказывать.
see the flowers? Why not just enjoy the gardens of the city?
Yujing Terrace is where Rex Lapis parted from this world. If I strolled through those lonely gardens now, I wouldn't be able to bear it. Whenever my duties take me near Yujing Terrace these days, I draw the windows to block my view of the gardens.
О, она заморозка.
Oh, sorry, we shouldn't have brought it up.
No, it's quite all right. I just haven't processed my emotions yet. When the Archon War came to its end 2,000 years ago, the first iteration of the Seven would gather in Liyue and drink with Rex Lapis. But 5 of those original 7 had already passed before Rex Lapis. It's truly a changing of the guard. Yes, now that the spirit of Rex Lapis has returned to the heavens, only Barbados of Mondstadt remains of the first 7. The other 5, including Inazuma's Raiden Shogun, are no longer the same friends from 2,000 years ago. Of the current 7 Archons, the youngest is Sumeru's god of Dendro. She is merely 500 years old, whereas Rex Lapis was more than 6,000 years old at the time of his passing. This means that Liyue had been under Rex Lapis's rule from the moment it was first founded 3,700 years ago. The city has never had to bid farewell to its deity.
So what do you think of this farewell?
Huh? This is a little sudden. As a mortal, I've never dared to imagine a Liyue without Rex Lapis. But as an Adeptus, I think I will eventually come to grips with reality. Since Rex Lapis has passed, the time of Liyue's contract with the gods and Adepti has now reached its end.
Huh? Did you just say, as an Adeptus?
Yes, I am a mix of human and Chilean. Adeptus blood flows through my veins. I fought for Rex Lapis and the city of Liyue during the Archon War. After the war ended, I signed a contract with Rex Lapis and took the position as secretary for the Qixing. I've continued those duties to this very day. Well, let's save that conversation for another day. You say that you are here looking for glaze lilies? I also know where wild glaze lilies can be found. See, I've just picked one myself. Here, You may have it if you wish.
Я бы был бы не
We
против.
dare not refuse it.
Oh, so did you sing a song before you picked the lily?
Indeed, I did. I know this tradition well. In fact, I sang a local Liyue ballad to it.
Wow, so you really know your stuff, too. Thanks, Gunyu.
No, it is you who I should be thanking. If not for this chance meeting, I never thought that I would be able to contribute to the upcoming farewell for our ancient lord. If you would excuse me, I should return to my work now. Good luck.
And that just about does it. Our preparations for the rite of parting are mostly finished. Given the ease of picking glaze lilies, I think this was a fitting end to our tasks, in more ways than one.
Мне почему-то кажется, все-таки он жив. Либо его кто-то заменит.
Yeah, Paimon can already imagine him starting a business in Liyue.
I've had enough ventures in my life already. Beginning a new undertaking is always difficult at first, and requires no small amount of effort. And once business is at full steam, the stress of it all only wears away at you over time. So you must be careful to take the time to step back and re-examine yourself. If left unchecked, the wear and tear on your heart may go well past mending.
Wow. See? Zhongli sounds like he's already seen it all. Alright, I think it's about time we head back to Liyue Harbor now.
Ну, поехали возвращаться. Чё уж. А где? А он. Блин. А у меня много, однако, хпшек. Но сейчас не о них. О них подумаем потом. Что за солдат стоят? Надеюсь, не по мою душу.
What happened? The city gate is swarming with Millilith and the Fatui?
This atmosphere is highly abnormal. It seems as though something big has happened. We should ask around a little, just to be safe.
Но это же не горожанин. Это Фатуи стоит.
You're the consultant to Wangsheng Funeral Parlor. Mr. Zhongli, I presume. The Millilith are watching our every move now. These are desperate times. We mustn't act rashly.
Desperate times?
The Adepti of Joyun Karst are finally on the move.
Do they intend to exercise force?
Most likely. I've heard that some members of the Qixing have already gone to meet them. Well, I say meet, but it's more like they're attempting to stall the Adepti outside the city. However, both sides were quite obstinate and hit an impasse.
It seems inevitable, given the current situation.
The Adepti do not acknowledge the Qixing. They only acknowledge the contracts of the Geo-Archon. If the two sides come to blows, Liyue Harbor will be in no position to stop them.
Surely the Liyue Qixing are not the sort to give in so easily.
Their boneheadedness is known throughout the lands. Yet it's because of that obstinacy that mortals and Adepti are now on the verge of conflict.
And what now? How is it that the Fatui have come under fire?
That's all Ningguang's doing. She proclaimed that in these tumultuous times, the Millilith must rein in the actions of the Fatui. Only now do they want to start keeping tabs on us? That's the Qixing for you. Anyway, Mr. Zhongli, you're one of Child's close associates. Please understand that your actions will reflect on us. Don't let anyone catch you off guard.
It looks like things are about to boil over in Liyue Harbor.
Do you intend to use your neutral identity as an intermediary between both sides? Or will you use your sword to turn the balance? Neither path is an easy one.
Oh, by the way, Mr. Zhongli, we've heard that the Wangsheng Funeral Parlor has also been caught up in all of this. They're currently squaring off with the authorities at the gates.
Things are taking a turn for the worse. I'm afraid I must leave now to handle things back at Wangsheng Funeral Parlor. I hope that Master Hu has been able to keep things under control for the moment. Consider your next course of action carefully, traveler. If you're trying to prevent an explosion, it may be wisest to look for the fuse first.
Или он под фитилем имеет в виду человечка?
Having connections with the Fatui seems to be quite the double-edged sword. So what does Zhongli mean by looking for the fuse? Oh, Paimon gets it. If there's anyone that wants to see the whole city turned upside down, it's definitely him. He must be waiting for the moment when no one is watching to do something really bad. But where could we find him now? Where would he go at a time like this?
Так. Это, конечно, хорошо, но прежде чем мы отправимся в это место... даже так. Ну, сначала надо пополнить запасы, а потом уже идти. Так, давай в статую вернем себе способность Архонта. Так, подожди. Ай. Потому что камни мне все равно нравятся больше. Нет, я не это имел в виду. Как мне вернуть? А как? Может он? Во. Хорошо. Мне с камнем более как-то спокойнее. Блин, а недалеко ли? Просто так бежать. Так. Да, все равно 200 метров. Что я не помню золотой палаты. Что там именно происходило? Хотя и вроде там и не было, в принципе. Прежде чем что-то происходило. Кстати, ну-ка. Ну-ка. Да. Характеристики. Чтобы возвысить, нам нужен, получается, награда ранга приключений раз. Ну, цветочек, окей, мы добудем. И маску грязную нужно добыть. Но нам все равно это пока что не светит. А вот для этого, получается, персонажа... это хилер у нас, это электрошокер. Так, вот для него, получается, чтобы возвысить... Это где обитает? Змей Руин 30+. Дикая природа, остров на руками и Татарасуна. Блин. Ого. Так, ну допустим, с этим разобрались. Оружием. Нет, подожди, прежде чем улучшить. Можно сменить? Нет, пока что толком не на чего сменить. А под улучшить нам нужно понедельник, четверг, воскресенье. Либо сувенирная лавка Леви. Кстати, там можно купить и возвысить. Было бы неплохо. Так, если мы... А давай, ну, до конца пробудем, наверное, да? Как бы, а почему бы нет? Все равно ничего толкового нету пока что. Поэтому будет, в принципе, ну... Наверное, при активации реакции пар... нет, я понял. Зря я прокачал. Лучше просто ее апать в плане урона. Так как, в принципе, как повышалка, она немножко, ну не то что бесполезна, но я это вижу больше как это. Нужно взять и переключить персонажа и задействовать определенные способности. Только так активируется наш предмет. По-другому никак. Жух. Рекомендую отряда, но у меня... Все, вот сейчас махач будет. Сейчас будет махач. Так. Блин, либо, конечно. Я бы сменил бы ее больше на на лед какой-нибудь. Вот электричество мне надо было раскачать все-таки. Как-никак. И вот ее бы раскачать. Она хорошо выглядит как хилер. Но так как у нас пока что толком ничего нету, мы пока что задействуем 0. Или оставить. Не, давай пока что оставим 0. Не уверен, то, что вы так, как нужно, но это лучше, чем ничего.
Wow! This is the golden house? It looked impressive enough from the outside, but who would have guessed that it was even fancier on the inside? And so full of mora. This is where all of Tibet's mora is minted, right? In that case, maybe they won't notice if a few mora go missing. Oh, so it's a trap! Tricky, tricky. Good thing Paimon's got you here. But even if we can't take any, we can still have a closer look, right? Or better yet, take a nap on top of a mountain of mora. It's like a dream come true. Oh, right. Back to business. It's quiet. Too quiet. Surely someone's gotta be guarding something as important as the Exuvia.
Тут все в золоте.
What happened here? Uh-oh. Paimon smells trouble. Quick, we have to go make sure that the Exuvia is all right.
Напротив дракона будем сражаться. Что они многие без сознания здесь валяются. О, да, это дракон Геархонт, я так понял.
You've already fulfilled your task as guides, so why do you still linger here? Haven't you already seen enough trouble for today?
Голос похож на что-то.
Who's there?
If you were Fatui, I imagine that you would be entitled to a generous reward from the Tsaritsa herself. But now, you're nothing but dross, and you're in my way.
Какой ты инфо.
Although I'm deeply grateful to you that I was able to effortlessly find this secret location, don't you think that trying to stop me now would just be wasted effort? Stopping the Mora mints, hiding away the Exuvia. The Chising are really pulling out all the stops this time.
So you've been planning to take the Gnosis from inside the Exuvia all along?
As one of the 11 Fatui Harbingers, it's my duty to see the will of the Tsaritsa fulfilled. She will get that which she desires. I'm not asking for your blessing, and there's nothing you can do to stop me anyway. The time for discussion and diplomacy has already passed. I mean, if it were up to me, I would have skipped that stage to begin with. But I'm willing to do as the Tsaritsa deems fit. Either way, we now come to my favorite part. A simple pleasure, and one that I am oh so delighted to be sharing with you. The battle.
Oh.
Battle? So you're the type that goes looking for trouble, huh?
Сейчас, как обычно происходит.
Signora offended the deities outside the cathedral in Mondstadt. She swiftly left the scene once her mission was accomplished. Instead of confronting you directly, she chose to rely on the snow and ice to make her escape. She wouldn't want the knights to come running towards the sound of battle now, would she? When she faces a worthy opponent, she will prioritize her mission, weigh the outcomes, and consider the consequences of her actions. But as for me, the greatest pleasure of being a harbinger lies in crossing blades with strong opponents.
We won't let what happened in Mondstadt ever happen again!
Oh, so you intend to fight me? Good. I won't kill you, traveler. I'll just play along.
Да, я тебе тоже поджопники надаю. Я не
Besides, you could never defeat me, not even in your wildest dreams. But hey, try to relish the fight anyway, because if you ask me, without that, what else is there? Fighting talk, I love it! Now let's see you live up to it.
Вот. Ты будешь меня еще умолять.
This chance is hard to come by, so show me all you've got. So very few ever get the chance to square off with a Fatui Harbinger. So come now, amuse me, and don't you dare disappoint.
Ладно. Урона у тебя достаточно. Но и я тоже не простой. Ща, подожди. Опа-на. Ты куда делся? Мне главное зарядить эту свою штучку и все. Оп. Она будет заряжаться? Хорошо. О, ты еще и владеешь второй магией? Неплохо, слушай. Уважение. А, ты маску что ли надел? Я-то думаю, что за фигня? А ты неплох, слушай. Моему надавали пизделик, пофиг. Ух ты.
Didn't think you had that card hidden up your sleeve.
You were just playing it to get close to the Exuvia!
Oh, quiet down. Stop acting like some wide-eyed recruit. You've seen this world. You of all people should know. This should have been expected.
Нехорошо.
Well then, I'll be taking Morax's gnosis now.
Ой.
I see. Well, this is most unexpected. You beat me to it, didn't you?
А, ну у меня что ли? Ух ты. А вот сейчас он серьезный стал. Вот сейчас он сильный. А, это только номер 11, а всего сколько их? Интересно, мне откроется сейчас какая-нибудь обилка такая сильная? Какой-то десептикон, блин.
You got to the gnosis ahead of me, didn't you? Did you simply move faster? Or did you leak the information regarding the golden house to me on purpose? No matter. Hand the gnosis over, now. Don't make me take it from you.
We didn't take it! Nice and
Yo.
spicy.
А ты хорош. Ну, не настолько. Ладно. Опередил.
That was discombobulating.
Опа-на. Опа-на. Где ты там? О, ля-ля-ля-ля-ля-ля-ля-ля. О! Это что за фокусы? Ёпта. Ёпта. А теперь финалка.
Some you win, and some you lose.
Чё, вся?
Child's back
Well then, time to cool off.
Сейчас ты решил поговорить дипломатически.
The foul legacy transformation was too great for my body. I lacked the opportunity to think this through. And now that I consider the matter more carefully, you never had any chance of beating me to the Gnosis. You had no connection to the Gnosis, no matter where it had been taken.
That's what we've been trying to tell you. We didn't take it.
Your show of ability today far surpasses that of Signora's initial assessment of you in Mondstadt. Tell me, how could that be? You already know the answer, don't you? I can see it in your eyes. But if that is a secret you wish to keep, I guess I'll just have to curb my curiosity. This battle has already left me satisfied. Anyone who strives as I do to grow stronger shall be called a friend, even if our friendship can only be shown in battle against one another.
Pretty sure that's not the normal way to make friends.
Unfortunately, I must bring this amiable conversation to an end. My quest still beckons. Given that the Gnosis wasn't taken by anyone, then we must look once again to the beginning. Perhaps it was never in the Exuvia to begin with. In fact, it might be that the Exuvia was just a diversion of sorts.
What? So you mean that...
Yes, it appears so. Interesting to say the
Нельзя
least.
так говорить.
It seems that the guardian deity of the capital of commerce is also well versed in little maneuvers beyond the boundaries of contracts. As such, we must now look to our backup plan.
Backup plan?
I had hoped it would never come to this, for the weak will be swept away in the process. The truth is, the world belongs to those who pursue strength. I seldom willingly involve myself with the weak.
Я думаю, это он нас так назвал только что.
Unfortunately, we cannot be picky about our methods as Fatui harbingers. Children must all learn to eat their vegetables sometime.
So what are you planning to do?
I will awaken the god that lies dormant beneath Guyan's stone forest.
A god?
Osile, overlord of the Vortex, who was defeated by Morax, the Geo-Archon in the Archon War, and who has remained pinned beneath the waves by the Geo-Archon's stone spears ever since. If such an ancient god were to be unleashed upon Liyue Harbor, defenseless without the protection of its deity, do you think the cunning Rex Lapis would just stand aloof and watch the ensuing destruction?
But the Archon War ended 2,000 years ago. How can an ancient god appear in a world now overseen by the Seven?
Simple. I've already prepared the means to awaken it.
Hey, those are sigils of permission. Oh, Paimon remembers now. The Fatui have been researching them.
Indeed. The one that was given to you was just a byproduct of our research. With the power of so many sigils of permission concentrated in one place, along with that which was bestowed upon me as a harbinger by our Tsaritsa, breaking the subduing might of the Geo-Archon spears for a time should be no obstacle. Using the powers of ancient gods in such a situation fails to interest me, and is largely against my principles. But knowing that such an action will not only force the Geo-Archon to show its hand, but you as well, that makes matters a little more intriguing.
Все пошло явно не по плану. Да.
Let's see. Will the nation that has lost its deity be swallowed up by an ancient malice once more? If you wish to drown together with the people of Liyue, you're free to stay and enjoy the show.
Huh? He's already gone. That guy is fast. What's going on?
Дворец двигается. Какие-то водяные драконы появились. Что-то интересно, сейчас что-то будет.
А, это, наверное, еще не закончилось?
To see the jade chamber flying over just as we came out of the golden house, we really wouldn't have known which way to go. Did we make it in time? Is the overlord of the vortex still in the sea? It hasn't destroyed Liyue yet, has it?
What are you doing here?
Huh? Hold on. It's the Adepti. What are you doing on the jade chamber? Paimon thought you were arguing with the Chising. Is the fighting over?
Faced with a calamity of such magnitude, we have agreed to put our differences aside for now and unite against this common enemy.
Я знаю этого павлина.
Oh, Paimon gets it. So how do you plan to defend Liyue? Just seeing this overlord of the vortex guy puts a pit in Paimon's tummy. Even from all the way out here.
It's not just you. We've got new Millilith recruits who can't even stand at attention without shaking. The force of an ancient god's presence seems to be too much for ordinary people to handle.
Вообще не страшно.
Which is why we must stop that monster before it gets any closer to Liyue Harbor.
So the Archon War was fought 2,000 years ago against enemies like that thing? Now that's scary. So will the power of the Chising, Millilith, and Adepti gathered here?
Мне кажется, эта бабушка неспроста тут.
We've already discussed this together, and our conclusion is not necessarily.
What? Wait, all of you were supposed to be the guardians of Liyue. Can't you think of something?
One certainly could.
Huh?
The Chising did once research the matter of the Guizhong Ballista when it piqued their fancy. And as fate would have it, one who did craft the Guizhong Ballista with one's own hands is here. For what could you mortals ever learn of Adepti mechanisms? Yet it would take one, but a little tinkering to turn this ballista into an engine of war beyond your wildest thoughts.
I suppose this is one blessing from the Adepti that we should be thankful for. So be it. We shall use the upgraded Guizhong Ballista to fight off that god. All the Adepti here can lend their strength to man it. We haven't a moment to spare. Our battle begins now.
Yep.
О, она какой-то аватар, а? Красиво. Наше время пришло. То есть нам надо ждать, пока что завалят дракона, и только потом на этом все закончится наша основная. А, еще и 6 минут. Ёпта. Хорошо, что он тупенький. А дядя силен. Оп, идите сюда, пацаны. Пам. Папамс. Блин, 6 минут, это много. Где они снова появятся? Наверное, возле этой должны. Хорошо. Так, теперь возле средней, наверное, опять. Не может быть подряд 2 раза. Около одной, правильно? Чисто тактически.
That is Osial's divine power. I am very familiar with it. Be careful not to get hit.
О! Ёп твою.
The Fatui! Their attacks are unrelenting!
How daring. Snezhnai's diplomats will answer for this afterward. Every last one.
This should be fun.
Нехорошо.
It isn't time for a break yet.
The ancient gods attacking again.
Блять, нас так...
We kill them.
Were you
Охуенно.
about to say we can't hold them, children? Don't
Это
lose
плохо.
heart. Here, take this.
Это очень плохо.
Forgetful energy. That light from your body. It's like the time in Julian Cars. Wow, it's Madame Ping's shockwave. This gray is really
Либо я не понимаю. А, нам какую-то ударную волну дали. Прикольно. Ну, бля, ну беги ты. Нет, блять, все-таки задела.
Cast your fear of injury by the wayside and fight with all your might. I too did this during the Archon War.
Блять, опять полетела пушка. Хорошо, в этот раз не попало.
My name means swiftness.
Может и этот?
Take my power and run as I do.
А, в нас сейчас пытаются попасть. А это что? Оп. Так, ну у меня, ладно, у меня выживаемость появилась у главного героя. Осталось 2 минуты. 2 минуты продержаться.
You are strong in body and spirit.
Чё?
Perhaps you can withstand 3 forms of adeptal energy at once.
О!
This will hurt a little. Please bear with us.
Once you've adapted, try to use them in battle.
Это, конечно, все отлично. Но что-то мне... О! Так, а у меня бесконечно она теперь? Эх, вот это вот пораньше было бы вообще бы классно. Это круто. Ничто не сказать. Я чувствую себя на 80-м левеле. Бежим, 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 бежим. Бежим, 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 бежим.
The Fatui's numbers are thinning.
Fight on, comrades. Once we finish this lot off,
20
the
секунд
Adepti will
осталось,
be able
20.
to deal with the god in peace.
Блин, у меня одна 30%, самое главное имеет. Ну, я думаю, все. Блин, сразу 3 силы. Почему вот так сразу нельзя сделать? Нет, у него должна голова, по идее, оторваться. Сейчас будет супер выстрел.
It's working! We just need to keep this up!
Ой, они тоже этому научились. Плохо. Все плохо.
Be careful now.
The Guizhong Ballista is destroyed. Without its covering fire, retaliation shall be difficult.
But the Jade Chamber is our last line of defense. We can't give another inch, no matter what.
I have another idea.
What do you mean, Lady Ningguang?
I'll sacrifice the Jade Chamber.
What is the meaning of this?
I understand.
Traveler, lend me a hand. Farewell, old friend. Goodbye for now. Let us meet again in the future.
Вот такие мне сюжетная линия нравится. Это уже не просто бегать.
Is it finally over?
The ominous aura of that monster has indeed begun to fade. The effects of the Sigil of Permission last but a short time. It will be some time before the Overlord of the Vortex can make any waves again.
We are indebted to you for your assistance. If the Adepti hadn't happened to be here, the future of Liyue Harbor would surely have been in great jeopardy.
Save your flattery. We didn't just happen to be here. Surely you won't pretend to have forgotten the reason for which we came.
Come now. There's no need for such harsh words, Cloud Retainer. I've heard that when Ningguang began learning to do business, she had already started setting aside part of her then limited income in preparation for building the Jade Chamber. At first, it was only the size of a small room, but with continued expansion, it has become the palace that lies before you now. It is a testament to Ningguang's entire life, both as a businesswoman and as the backbone of the Liyue Qixing. Seeing the Jade Chamber destroyed in the defense of Liyue means much to her. To me, such cooperation and sacrifice deserves at least some recognition, don't you agree?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I was really hoping you would say that such sacrifice could at least be used as some leverage in our negotiations. Thank you all for hearing me out. We know very well why the Adepti came here today. But please forgive us. We cannot yield to your wishes.
Oh?
3,700 years. According to our records, the Adepti signed a contract with Rex Lapis to protect Liyue 3,700 years ago. Even to this very day, Liyue and its lands have stood the test of time, immovable as stone, just as it was thousands of years before. This is truly no small feat. But that does not mean that the Liyue of today is the same city as it was all those years ago. Do not merely cast your protective gaze upon the land. Instead, focus your sights on our city and each of the citizens that dwell within it.
Are you questioning our means of protecting Liyue?
Ты тупица, блять.
I mean no offense. I simply hope that our Adepti forebears would see Liyue in a new
Вас
light.
только что, блять, чуть не стерли в порошок, ты еще выебываешься.
One doubts you would be fit to be part of such a lineage.
О, блять, вот это реально завышенная самооценка у них, блин.
What?
In the dream, I yearn to tell him that we Qixing, though mortal, are equally bound to the contract. Each passing generation of the Qixing leaves many things of value to be inherited by the next generation. I also thought to tell him how the past generations of Qixing had strove under his rule to survive in our mortal world, establishing a network of contracts which has since come to be known as trade. But I dared not speak. I could only gaze at him in silence until the moment I awoke.
Oh, Ningguang.
Yet another perspective. What are you trying to say, Outlander?
Right! That's something that happened in Mondstadt. It's a story about the Four Winds and the people of the Animal Archon. The Animal Archon sought to quell the strife between the two sides, because he believed that such conflict would only scar the hearts of both, and that nothing good would come of it.
Each of the 7 nations has its own scars from the past.
Though your point is the very height of simplicity. As Adepti, we've become a laughingstock, to be chastised thus by an outlander who has lent us such succor.
All right, all right. Didn't Ningguang suggest that we should focus on the city and each of its citizens? I know I already have, so why not see for yourselves?
I apologize for appearing in full armor. I am afraid I cannot show the proper courtesies.
And who are you?
I am Feng Yan, a sergeant of the Millilith. I have come to extend my thanks to the Adepti. I thought this battle would perhaps be my last. But thanks to the aid of the Adepti, our forces were not as badly battered as I feared we might be. Although I am a mere mortal soldier, I promise to hold the line and never betray the grace given to us by the illuminated Adepti this day.
Huh? Why does everyone look so down? Didn't we just beat that big monster?
Weren't you frightened, dear? It was quite the predicament.
I wasn't afraid. All the strong Millilith guards were there, and those powerful heroes with their visions were there. Everyone was there. When danger is near, everyone always protects me. And the rest of the time, they make fun toys and tasty snacks and loads of things that make the harbor so pretty. Thanks for protecting Liyue Harbor. Please come visit us for the next lantern rite.
Unfortunately, we wouldn't be able to participate.
Huh?
Because we are Adepti.
Oh, okay. It must be hard being an Adeptus. Aww.
You see, this is what Liyue is like today. The country of contracts is grateful to the Adepti for their protection, but it is no longer necessary for the city to rely on the Adepti's power to solve every little niggling matter. Although their blood is weak, there is still strength to be found in those we call mortals. The time of contracts between gods and Liyue has long since passed. Now is the time of contracts between Liyue and its people.
Seeing the port around us now, it is hard not to feel a bit out of place. Wouldn't you say so, Cloud Retainer?
Your line of inquiry is askew. One did not spearhead this expedition to Liyue Harbor.
Seems like the Adepti have had a change of heart.
Let us return now.
Eager to leave, conqueror of demons.
Yes, one understands what the Conqueror of Demons means. The city of Liyue has changed much after our long separation. One fears that by the time one finally grasps the new contracts of Liyue, you humans would have once again changed the place beyond recognition. Fair enough. Away we shall, and return whence we came.
Since we Adepti have consensus, then one shall persist no further. But how will we ensure that the Liyue Chising will not simply exploit their power once we depart? In my view, that is still a thing to be guarded against.
All right, Mooncarver, you needn't worry. It seems to me that this right of supervision is best left to the people of Liyue.
Чуть там летает.
Looks like the conflict between humans and Adepti was avoided. All's well that ends well, huh? Oh, right! It's nice that we've got peace and all, but we're forgetting one thing. Child wanted to unleash the god so he could lure Rex Lapis out. But we were able to handle the Overlord of the Vortex on our own, so Rex Lapis never showed up. Oh, and speaking of that, don't we still need to get to the bottom of that Archon's death, too? Hyman doesn't get it. But isn't the strongest lead we have the Adeptiless rite of parting that we're organizing? No idea where Zhongli's gone. Let's ask for him at Wangshen Funeral Parlor.
Ладно, туда бежать немножко более дальше, чем обычно, так что немножечко пойдем коротким путем. Кстати, вот интересно, ну-ка, где там? Сюда. Угу. Кажется, все идет по плану.
Is there anything I can do for you two? I'm afraid that Wangsheng Funeral Parlor isn't in the best state to receive guests.
We've come to see Zhongli. Could you please tell him we're here?
Unfortunately, Zhongli isn't here at the moment. It seems he went to Northland Bank.
Doesn't the Northland Bank belong to the Fatui? Last time we saw Zhongli was before we went to the Golden House. Do you think he doesn't know about the attack on Liyue? Visiting the Fatui at a time like this could only mean more trouble. We had better go and make sure that everything is okay.
Угу. Ну что-то мне подсказывает, сейчас глава уже скоро завершится. По крайней мере, должно. И на этом мы будем заканчивать. О, Фатуи. Не, он мне нафиг не нужен. Этот Влад.
You call this cooperation between harbingers? Cooperation involves communication, you know.
Don't take it to heart, child. Besides, Aren't you happy that you got to skip the formalities and bring chaos to the land? I'm sure you must have enjoyed that. Oh, it seems that some of your friends have arrived.
Hey, it's Zhongli and Child. And you! You're also one of the Harbingers?
It's you two. I believe we've met once before. In the city of Bards, was it? I'm glad you still remember my name. Ah, right. I imagine that it must have been rather hard to forget watching helplessly as something precious was snatched away from your friend.
Well, if it isn't you two. This is our first time seeing each other since Liyue was nearly wiped off the map. This is certainly a bit awkward, wouldn't you say?
Ты еще хочешь помахаться?
I knew that we should never have trusted a Fatui Harbinger.
Oh, now don't say that. Sure, I may have misled you, but I never had anything against you personally. Besides, I thought we were getting along quite well together, didn't you? Except for that little tussle we had at the end. Nothing personal. We just have different views, that's all. Of course, you may very well hold this against me, but that's up to you. The real deceivers here are Senora and Zhongli. Curse them for leading me on. So actually, I think...
Stop wasting time, child. There'll be plenty of time to chat once I'm through here. You remember the agreement, Morax. Now, if you would be so kind. The Gnosis, please.
What in the world are you talking about?
The contract is fulfilled. That which thou seeketh is now bestowed unto thee. For my promise is solid as stone.
Чего?
How sanctimonious.
What? So you're the Lord of Chiao? No, wait. That's an exciting twist and all, but why give the Gnosis to the Fatui?
I do not give it for free. I give it as agreed upon in the contract. For it is a matter solely between the Tsaritsa and I.
Yeah, you don't think you went a little bit too far with that whole fake death thing? Everyone was preparing the ceremony for you, and splat! This big dragon falls out of the sky, and all of Liyue goes into an uproar. Talk about a disaster.
Значит, все-таки он, что ли?
Gathering all the forces that had been bubbling behind the scenes, and then stirring them together in a pot that was bound to boil over. That's what he wanted to see.
То есть он слабее ее?
Wait, what?
Perhaps it's best that I explain. As you know, I've dwelt upon this world for more than 6,000 years. It is now 3,700 years ago that I founded Liyue together with the Adepti. Even boulders that can withstand whirlpools will erode with the passing of time. I kept convincing myself that cracks had not begun to form, and that the end of my time had not yet come, until one drizzly day, as I was strolling along the harbor, I heard a merchant tell one of his workers, "You've finished your duties. Go ahead and call it a day." I stood motionless among the crowds, asking myself, have I already finished my duties?
Oh, Zhongli.
But as I began to consider relinquishing my divine role, I soon discovered that many reasons still remained to not hastily depart. Was Liyue, the city I had dwelt in for so long, already prepared to enter its next age? I decided that a test was needed in order to reveal the answer. So I feigned my own death, and gathered the cast of Child, the Adepti, and the Liyue Chising to play their roles together on the stage that was Liyue. That's right, which is why I continued to safeguard the Gnosis until now.
So you mean that if the chaos ever reached the point of no return, you would simply appear and use your divine powers to bring Liyue back under control?
Of course, and it would have been all too easy for him too. Just as a child quickly matures after losing their parents, so has Liyue matured when faced with the death of its deity.
In the end, the resolution to all that has transpired was even more satisfactory than I could have hoped for. Take the Adepti, for instance. Owing to their years of seclusion, they were the least informed. Yet when faced with a crisis, they commendably showed the greatest amount of restraint possible. Not only did they manage to cooperate with the Qixing, but in the end, they even made efforts to understand the hearts of the people. Credit is also due to Signora, the emissary dispatched by the Cryo-Archon to fulfill our contract. At my request, she kept everything she knew in strict confidence. This despite the eavesdropping ears of her colleague, Child. This meant I could remain as Zhongli, even having the chance to fulfill the age-old traditions of Liyue in this mortal form. Thank you for joining me on this journey, traveler. All of these things turned out as I had planned. There is only one thing that I had not anticipated, and that was the conduct of the Liyue Qixing. I had expected them to do no more than the Adepti, to come to the defense of Liyue. But when all was said and done, they seized the opportunity to supplant Liyue's divine protectors, and used the subsequent power vacuum left by my death to quickly gain complete control of Liyue.
Huh? That doesn't sound good at all.
On the contrary, I think it is excellent. I had always feared that it was too soon for them to take over from me. And it was also that which I longed for the most. As such, this is the best parting gift anyone could have given this god of old.
Hey, what about me? Doesn't anyone feel the least bit of remorse for deceiving me? You've practically kept me in the dark.
I think that thanks would be more appropriate. You certainly played no small part in all of this, wreaking havoc and turning the city upside down. The Lord of Geo ought to thank you for your performance, if anything. If you hadn't created the pressure of a battle between mortals, Adepti, and a god, the lump of coal resting in the hands of the Geo-Archon, Liyue would never have been able to become a dazzling diamond of a city.
Huh? Just whose side are you on, mocking me like that? Are you itching for a fight? Be that as it may, you've come out of this as the hero of Liyue. I, on the other hand, will be forever prescribed as a disturber of the peace, no?
Well then, with the Gnosis in my possession, I have no use for such idle chatter. We should return to Zapoljarny Palace and seek an audience with Her Majesty, the Tsaritsa. Come, child.
Fine. I'll meet you there later. I'm not sharing a boat with the likes of you.
Do as you wish.
Now then, is there anything else you wish to ask me?
Right! As Zhongli always told us, a good trade is a fair trade. Paimon has no idea what could be a good trade for a Gnosis.
Realistically speaking, there is no such thing.
Huh?
However, I am the god of contracts. For thousands of years, I have made countless contracts. If the deal was of no benefit, then I certainly would not be inclined to agree to it. My agreement with the Cryo-Archon will be the last of my contracts as the Geo-Archon. My contract to end all contracts. As for the bargaining chip that the Tsaritsa used to balance the scales, uncover that answer for yourself in your future journeys.
Печально, конечно, все равно как-то это все закончилось.
Today the day of the rite of parting. Although the star of the show is fake, we spent so much time trying to organize it, it would be a real shame not to go there now.
Так, нам туда. Наверх. Так, давай за этого, за главного героя. Да. Взяли и просто обманули всех вокруг пальцев.
Oh, well, since we're going through with this rite of parting, I guess it means that those rumors hit the nail on the head.
So Rex Lapis is really... But they didn't catch the culprit, did they?
Oh, come on. Do you think that the assassin could have been a normal person? You know what I think. I don't think any of the gossip on the streets you hear from those shady types is worth anything. There's only one real possibility in my mind. I've heard that the assassin was that Fatui fellow. Youngish, pretty high in rank. I think they called him Child.
The Fatui? They certainly are very suspicious. Who knows what those greedy, crooked folks...
Shh! Lower your voice. If the Fatui catch you in their sights, Rex Lapis won't be around to protect you this time.
You know that god from the ocean couldn't have just shown up out of nowhere. I mean, it's been 2,000 years since Rex Lapis subdued it.
Не до конца победил.
Yes, and to think that this happened right on the heels of the incident with Rex Lapis, too.
Say, do you think the person who assassinated our lord and released that evil god might have been one and the same?
Now that you mention it, that's very possible. Yes, it's very possible indeed. I mean, it all fits together. That person must have colluded with the evil god to harm Rex Lapis. Oh, that wicked, black-hearted scoundrel. Still, what sort of supernatural prowess must this person possess to be able to do such things? I have never heard of such a person in all my years.
Ah, forget it. Guessing's no use to us. Look, the Millilith over there looks like he's about to make an announcement. Let's hear what the Ministry of Civil Affairs has to say first.
Я думаю, сейчас закончится глава и будет 30-й левел уже.
Though a dragon soars ageless as the mountains, it too must return to dust. This is common knowledge. Gods and adepti live glorious lives, but both light and shadow have their season. So too must they face divinely appointed trials. Rumors and hearsay abound on the streets that Rex Lapis was murdered. Now, let the truth be revealed. Having been thwarted in his trial, Rex Lapis's soul has recouped the celestial heights. He beseeches the people of Liyue to grieve not and to let not their hearts be saddened. Nor are they to believe street-born rumors or indulge in baseless speculation.
Paimon needs a translation on what the Qixing's announcement said. So that's how they're spinning it. Something feels off. Why would they suddenly give up looking for the murderer? Not to mention how this excuse sounds like something they just made up on the spot. Could the Qixing already have known that Rex Lapis wasn't dead? But Zhongli said that neither they nor the Adepti knew anything. Did Zhongli tell them in secret after his gnosis changed hands? Exactly, right? Ooh, seems like the rite of parting has been going on for a while now. Let's go have a look.
А потом выскажу свое мнение по этому поводу.
Look, it's Ningguang and Keqing. saying something? Are their speeches over?
As said previously, Rex Lapis's soul returning to the heavens is the end of the contract. And it is also the end of an era.
3,700 years of contracts burnt and reduced to ash.
We, the people of Liyue, were indeed prosperous. But blinded by our prosperity, we forgot that time can be pitiless.
The long, unending dream of our Archon walking among us.
Now that we have awoken from our dream, we must learn to say farewell. Will you stand with us as we re-establish our contracts? As we build a new age of prosperity?
So concludes the words of Her Eminence the Tianquan. Does Her Eminence the Yuheng have anything to add?
Huh? Is she looking this way?
Traveler.
Yikes! She really is looking our way!
Is that the traveler who they say defeated the ancient god?
So young. The Liyue Qixing always repay their debts. And as you have heard, our eyes see far and our reach is long. Name your price. You deserve that much.
Whoa!
Да, троеточие. В принципе, что умеет наш герой?
Well, could you help me put up some missing person posters?
Наш герой реально умеет разговаривать? Когда он так научился? Подожди.
Why you? Were you just trying to look cool earlier? Or are you really that... If you were looking for someone, you could have just told me that.
Надо совсем не поговорить.
Roping you in was possibly the most masterful move we could have made. I believe that future generations will say so too when our deeds come up for their review.
The cleanup of the premises, managing the crowds as they exit, making an account of the rite. There's much that remains to be done. I didn't miss anything, did I?
А вот и Георг, он сам.
Hey, Zhongli! Look at this. Everyone in Liyue is caught up in their emotions, thinking that they'll never see Rex Lapis again. And here you are looking all relaxed.
Why would I not feel more at ease after laying down the burden I have borne for 3,700 years? Right. If the two of you can spare the time, I should treat you to a meal at the Xinyue kiosk.
Ha! That sounds like big talk, Zhongli. Paimon might have believed you if you were treating us to some third-round knockout, but you'd have to pay out your nose just to stand inside Xinyue kiosk. Are you sure you can afford it?
You're right. I do lack the Mora. As the Rex Lapis Morax, I can easily create Mora. But since I have chosen to walk this earth as the mortal Zhongli, I should abide by the same rules that mortals do. When I was journeying with you, though I still had the Gnosis in hand, I knew that I must soon retire from my role as an Archon. So I had to rehearse a little for my new life.
Oh, no wonder! Paimon gets it now. You didn't look at the price tags when we were spending because you've never had to. But since you weren't used to not being able to just make more Mora as and when you wanted to, you had to try becoming a parasite to society who lives off of other people's credit.
Well, we were only spending Fatui money. You don't have to say it like that. In the City of Commerce, we do not merely exchange money or goods. We also exchange knowledge, memories, and foresight, as well as positions, roles, and lives. The Archon Morax could never experience life as the true mortal Zhongli could, no matter how many times he descended to be with his people. I must thank you for that. I will treasure the memories that I made as Zhongli, traveling the streets of Liyue with you. That is true. But there is no journey that does not end. No meetings without partings.
Paimon thinks that we should make a move and continue our search for the Seven.
I fear that continuing your journey may be difficult. The nation that neighbors Liyue by sea, Inazuma, is presently closed. The Electro-Archon Ball. And just as the people of Liyue preferred to call me Rex Lapis, she too goes by another name among locals in Inazuma.
Paimon thinks we've heard that one before. Raiden?
That is the case. And since Raiden is also the Shogun of Inazuma, people call her the Raiden Shogun.
That said, though people at the wharf were saying that the situation in Inazuma is very tense, Paimon doesn't remember that always being the case. It wasn't that bad last year. Zhongli, since you're Rex Lapis, shouldn't you know something about what's happening there? Just how did Inazuma become a closed nation?
It's because of visions.
Visions?
When faced with circumstances beyond their control, humans often bemoan their lack of power. But if a person shows true strength of will at a desperate and fateful moment in their life, the gods will look upon them with favor. This is what visions are. Magical foci bestowed upon those who have been acknowledged by the gods.
Uh-huh. That's how people in Teyvat see it.
But starting from last year, the Raiden Shogun began promulgating the Vision Hunt Decree.
Vision Hunt Decree?
Yes. It was an order to seize all visions within Inazuma's borders, and to inlay them upon the hands of the statue of the omnipresent god.
They want to seize visions. But why? Aren't visions blessings from the gods?
I should think that in the Raiden Shogun's eyes, it is precisely because they are divine blessings that they should be under the sole dominion of divinity.
Вон у него появился, кстати, Георхунту. Вроде не было.
The Animo Archon is the god of freedom, and the Geo Archon is the god of contracts. For her part, the Raiden Shogun is the god of eternity. It seems as though she has finally decided to eliminate any unstable elements that could pose a threat to her eternal realm. The fact that even I, the oldest of the seven, have now passed away, will only strengthen her resolve to pursue eternity. Knowing her, she must have again quoted that adage she is most fond of when proclaiming that decree to her people. 7 ideals for 7 gods, and of these, eternity is nearest unto the heavenly principles.
Прикольно, там уже утро, день настало, а мы все еще стоим болтаем.
All right then. Was there anything else you wish to know?
Опа, ну-ка, ну-ка.
Ah, that was a good one. Failing a divine trial. How they came up with that excuse, I will never know. That said, the reason why the Qixing were so eager to resolve the incident and stop pursuing the culprit was indeed because they received news in secret that Rex Lapis was not dead. I hinted as much to the Adepti as well. How did I accomplish that, you ask? Have you ever heard of this particularly convenient Adepti art known as gifting dreams and visions? All right then. Was there anything else you wished?
Yeah, about that. Before the Qixing made their announcement, we listened to a lot of people talking on the way. Most of them put the blame for everything on Child.
These are indeed false accusations. But it remains undeniably true that Child did send people to the Jade Chamber to prevent the Adepti and the Qixing from defeating the ancient god. I've heard that Ningguang is busy milking that for all it's worth on the foreign relations front at the moment, browbeating the envoys of the Fatui. Ha! Those poor Snezhnayan diplomats. If it were not for Child's exalted position as a harbinger, I'm certain that they would have shifted all the blame to him and called for his dismissal by now. All right then. Was there anything else you wish to know? The time of the Adepti has long passed. If even the Liu Qixing don't want to face that truth, then what future is there for Liu? Kuching is absolutely right in saying this. Now, though I did laud Ningguang's desire for power, believing this to be a good thing, and thought as a matter of course that she must have been behind the Qixing's plan to take governing power over Liu from the hands of the gods and Adepti, could the original person who brought up the idea of seizing power have been... All right then. Was there anything else you wish to know?
That's right. Zhongli, now that you don't have your gnosis, what's going to happen to all the Mora in Teyvat? Since Morax is dead, are they all just gonna disappear? Also, isn't the Golden House the only mint in the entire continent? Will it even continue to work?
The Mora present now will not vanish. But the Golden House will indeed have to cease operations for a lengthy period of time, since creating Mora requires the use of the Geo-Archon's power.
This is terrible! We're all about to run out of Mora! The world is coming to an end!
Yes, this is indeed a major issue from a financial standpoint. Well, I suppose we'll just leave such troublesome matters to the Liu Qixing to debate.
Then, did you at least set some private funds aside for yourself?
Oh, a private fund. This does seem like a good, logical, common-sense idea. It's a shame.
What's a shame?
It's a shame that I didn't think of it at the time. All right then. Was there anything else you wished to... Well then, I suppose you'll have to find a way to get inside this closed nation. Have patience. I suspect that some serendipity must first come into play.
Ну вот, о чем я и говорил. 30-й ранг нам нужен. Да, я это все знаю. Да. Ну, смотри. То есть, прежде чем нам... Ладно, не, подожди. Это мы сейчас... Да ёб твою. Подожди. Это задание мира. Подожди, а где? А вон одно я задание увидел. Это подожди. Сейчас по-быстрому сюда. Сейчас по-быстренькому выполним. Посмотрим, дадут ли нам 30-й, если получится. А там, по сути, уже закончим. Хотя, на самом деле, даже здесь близко мы находимся, поэтому... Так, раз. Это мы получили. Теперь можем по-быстрому забрать награду.
Traveler, please, over here. It has been a while since you joined the Adventurers Guild. Are your adventures going smoothly? Is that so? Apart from your own skills, reliable teammates are also another person to count on is always good after all.
Yep, and it's even harder to get a guide as good as Paimon.
Ah, yes. I do have some information that may be of help to you. Let me consult our records. Ah, there it is. there's been a certain blonde stranger who arrived in Mondstadt lately, dressed in most unusual clothes.
Blonde. Dress is all funny. Wait! Do you mean... Does that stranger's face look anything like his?
Hmm? Like the honorary knights? No, they couldn't look more different. This stranger is a very tall man, and even has an eye patch.
Seriously? How does this have anything to do with Kaya?
That stranger declined the guild's invitation, so I can't say that I know anything about the relationship between him and Mr. Kaya. Nonetheless, you can look for him if you're interested. Perhaps he might. After all, it is not uncommon for some adventurers to not want to be limited by the guild, and should this stranger be a strong adventurer indeed, he would certainly be a big help on your journey. Please don't talk down on yourself like your deeds are the stuff of song for all the bards in the city, even now. Well, as to further news about him, he stands guard at the city gate, so he may know. I wish you every success. Add Astra.
Это все прекрасно. Да, мне кажется, чего-то мне явно не хватает для этого. Например, ну-ка. Сейчас посмотрим. Опа. Это из-за того, что я вот это выбрал? Ох ты, ёпту. А я это не выполнил, что ли? Тьфу, блин, а. А, это промежуточная глава. Это получается... О, он она как. Так, ну ладно, это мы пропустим. По-быстрому сделаем, чтобы получить опыт. Так, куда там? Сюда. Потому что там сейчас выслушаем это, получим 400 опыта и, по идее, внизу. А, это то, что выросло у нас. Так. Подожди. А, это все вот эти нужно забрать. Все, которые мы посадили. Это было зря. В итоге она оказалась в том месте. Подожди, огонек. Куда ты меня ведешь? Ой, только не говори куда-то наверх. Сейчас проследуем за этим огоньком, куда он нас приведет. Да уж. Так. То есть по следам имеется в виду сюда. Да. Нет. Или по следам имеется в виду. Ага. Ну или так. Вот, кстати, здесь они слабенькие, враги. А, все, отдать нужно. Да, звучит печально. Ну, ничего не поделаешь. Она отправила эту коробку в опасное место. Так. Выполнен, да? Плюс 225. Хотя может и не хватить. Там получается сколько у нас? Так. 3900 плюс 400. Что там? А, ты уже сидишь, играешь. О. Ладно. Я, конечно, не знаю, кто это. Почему у вас такой большой лайв, а у меня такой маленький? Блин. А, это я могу. Бумс. Легко. Сказал бы я. Ну, в принципе, тоже не так сложно оказалось. Да я застрял, я застрял. Так, разрушьте башни. А, это еще дальше куда-то. Хо. Так, ну это давай сюда. Заодно похилимся. Так. Угу. Так, это значит нам наверх туда. Хорошо. Так, думаю, нам все сейчас эти задания скажут пробежать. Не, ну я бы хотел на самом деле взять и до выполнить, чтобы нам 30 ранг дали, потому что не так много на самом деле. Так как сейчас еще у меня маленький ранг приключений, здесь в принципе выглядит по много дают. Не, нам вот это надо. Оп. Ой, это не хорошо. Давай-ка ты слезешь оттуда. О, классный враг. В яблочко. Кто бы сомневался, то что он не попадет. Можно я разрушу? Нельзя. Ты серьезно, блин? Иначе нас бы не отпустили отсюда, мы так. И осталось вот здесь вот выполнить, я так понял. Все. И там плюшку нам дадут. Так, куда? А, вон туда.
Quick! Let it rain. Yeah, confess.
Окей. Ну и все. Бумс. Так, 20, 20, 25. Ну да, где-то косарик еще остался. Зато задание мы, получается, получим. Так, не, подожди. Нам награда поручения. Давай-ка сначала туда. Может, вроде как все выполнили. Так что посмотрим, что нам дадут. Было бы неплохо, конечно, еще бы до попыт какой-нибудь, если бы дали. Кстати, ну-ка. Приятно. Завершите задание чайник полной чаши. Угу. Время событий не ограничено. И какая-то рыбка. Ага. Хорошо.
Ad Astra Ab. Thank you for completing.
О, о чем я и говорил. Это что такое? А, ну это нам не нужно сейчас. Это что у нас? Здесь достижения. Это же можно нажать все? Нет. Ладно, тогда тыкаем. Так, еще что-нибудь есть? Вроде больше ничего здесь нет пока что. Так. Давай зайдем в магазин, там что? Ага, новая одежда нам пока что не нужна. Гардероб. Это у меня вообще денег нету. Магазин пойман. Ну-ка. Угу. Здесь, в принципе, ничего не изменилось. Ну да. А здесь что? Ага, здесь за 160 это можно купить. Окей. Основные моменты версии это тоже не... Это ёптва. Да. Та-ри-та-та. Ну и короче здесь все рассказывается, но это не сильно интересно. Так. А, нет, подожди, покупка задания. Не-не-не-не-не-не-не-не. Погода для задания. Опа, созвездие, значит, появилось. Хорошо. Прикольно. Озвучка. Так. Теперь туда, нам все равно туда нужно. Сейчас нам, получается, выполним кое-что. Так, где там по заданию? Интересно, да? Завершить сначала это. Так. Ну, да, нам сюда. Где? Куда? А, он туда. Интересно, самый быстрый способ какой? Явно не которым я пользуюсь сейчас. Но попытка не пытка. Если есть возможность, надо попробовать воспользоваться.
Is this an answer from this world?
А еще плюс 20 дополнительных приключений. Это нам плюс только будет. Оп. А, вон. Сейчас за это мы 4 сотки получим.
I have gathered everyone here today to make an important announcement. Perhaps some of you will have heard the news already. I am, in fact, planning to rebuild the Jade Chamber.
Rebuild the Jade Chamber? That's a huge project!
So the rumors are true. No wonder the price of building materials has gone up so much lately.
The Jade Chamber means a lot to Lady Ningguang. Getting involved in this would be a huge opportunity.
Lady Ningguang, is there any way we can be of service?
Patience. Since the news made it out a few days ago, I have already had many people contacting me to declare an interest in joining the project. Nevertheless, I do have a few matters I should like to entrust to you here today. The building site has been chosen, and most of the materials have been assembled. 3 key items are, however, still outstanding. They are as follows: Sunset Vermilionite, Wonder Cores, and Adepti Sigils.
Вот они и присели все.
Excuse my ignorance, Lady Ningguang. I'm familiar enough with Plostrite, but I've never even heard of those other two.
Only sufficiently large pieces of Plostrite, or specifically vermilionite, may earn themselves the sunset moniker. This stone is what allows the jade chamber to float. Wonder cores, meanwhile, are the central components of the mechanical structure of the jade chamber. Adepti sigils serve as a means of integrating the mechanical devices with Adepti art. They are as indispensable as the mechanical core itself. Although these 3 items are rare, I trust that with your connections and capabilities, procuring them will not be a question of if, but of when. I take the saying, time is money, more seriously than most. Efficiency is everything. I will pay a generous price for the materials that you find, and in addition, the first 3 people who collect all the materials will have the opportunity to ask me a question. You may ask me anything, and I will give you an honest answer. I trust that this means of compensation will be to everyone's satisfaction.
These things won't be easy to get hold of. But if it means a chance to get some inside information on Liyue Harbor's development plan for next year...
Then it's the deal of a lifetime. Information from Lady Ningguang is priceless. Whoever gets to it first takes the market.
What a coincidence! I won't divulge too much, but I heard some murmurings about some prostrate just the other day. So excuse me all, but I have some
своего
business
рода
to do.
состязание, и люди просто будут по максимуму давить.
No. We better move quickly, or this opportunity will be snatched away from us.
Ningguang's rebuilding the Jade Chamber? This is a huge deal! Let's get involved!
Ну да, поэтому первый найдем. Все 3 материала и зададим 3 вопроса.
So you heard my announcement, did you? What do you think? Interested?
50-50.
Yes. Providing the question pertains to something I am knowledgeable about.
Really? Ooh, then Paimon will ask you about how to run a business! Then we'll never be short of Mora ever again!
Of course. But how much information I share with you will depend on your performance. The construction of the Jade Chamber requires a great deal of space. The abandoned mine outside the Golden House has been selected as the building site. Once you have collected the materials, please take them there. I have other business to attend to now. Otherwise, I would gladly escort you to the site in person. When you do arrive, please seek out my secretary. Remember, this is a race against the clock. A rare opportunity presents itself to you. Do not let somebody else snatch it from your grasp.
А в чем прикол был закидывать удочку тогда?
Ningguang seems super busy. Come on, we'd better get going.
Я надеюсь, нам сейчас сайт одному подадут.
Huh? Look, it seems like there's something kind of fishy going on over there.
Ma'am, you seem like an eminent and distinguished young lady to me. I can see that you're easily gonna win this procurement contest Lady Ningguang has set up. As it happens, we have some information about the materials that I really think might interest you. Come on, let's find somewhere a little more private, and we can get down to brass tacks.
No, I don't need it.
Don't be like that. Hey, come on, don't go! Why don't you stand there after her? Oh, right, yeah.
Жадность пошла.
Did you hear that? They said they had some useful information.
А где мои 400 опыта?
Need right now.
Или это что? Это за главу дадут 400 опыта? О, 800. 300. И этот. Блин. Я ожидал чего-то получше. Но походу чего-то получшего мы не найдем. А что будем работать с тем, что есть под рукой. Конечно, жалко то, что за это дают всего лишь 400. Можно было бы и побольше. Ну, что поделаешь. Что есть, то есть. Сейчас.
Well, will you look at that, ma'am? Nowhere left to run. Don't worry, we're not bad guys. You give us some mora, we give you a little info. Everybody's a winner.
Boss, I got a bad feeling about this. Look at her, the white hair, the energy she gives off. I'm telling you, there's something different about her.
So what? She's loaded. How are we ever going to repay those gambling debts if we just let money walk away from us, huh?
I've already told you, I don't need your information. If you still can't grasp that, I'm happy to repeat it in a way that won't be so easy to forget.
Come on, ma'am. You seem like an intelligent lady. I shouldn't have to spell this out to you. It's not about whether you need the info or not, okay? It's about you taking out your money and handing it over and nobody getting hurt.
I won't.
No more excuses! I know you have money. I saw you. Yeah, I saw you. Strolling into Leo Lee Pavilion, ordering a table full of food, and only taking a few bites. Then Shin Yu at kiosk, then Wan Min restaurant. Same story each time. You order all the signature dishes, take a few bites, then you're on your way again. How could you afford to be so wasteful if you weren't from a rich family? And since you're so rich, what's the loss to you in giving us a little spare change, huh?
Master warned me not to lay a hand on anyone in Liyue Harbor. But here we are. Perhaps... yes. Let's call it fate.
Boss, I'm telling you, something's not right.
What are you afraid of? We're just selling information. It's not illegal. If she lays a finger on us, all the better. We'll sue her for everything she's worth.
Oh, you again.
The Millilith. What are the Millilith doing here? Did you do this? You ought to mind your own business. I swear!
Silence! How dare you threaten innocent civilians? You're coming with us.
No, don't be angry, sir. Please, let me explain.
Shenhe.
Shenhe?
My name.
Oh, so your name's Shenhe. Paimon's name is, well, Paimon. And this is Paimon's travel buddy.
I've heard about you two before. Thank you for helping to defuse the situation. I could have dealt with it myself, though. I suspect smashing his head against the ground a handful of times is all it would have taken to get him to surrender.
You can't do that. That's way too violent. This is Liyue Harbor. There are laws against that kind of stuff, you know.
Laws? No. Apparently not.
Really? So how exactly have you...
That would be my stomach growling. I haven't eaten enough.
She's so honest. Wait, that's right. They said you went around all the restaurants ordering this and that and the other, but only took a small bite of each dish. Then of course you're still hungry. So, anything in particular you're hungry for?
Chingson, glaze lily, violet grass. These are my usuals. Medicinal herbs?
Kinda hard to explain. Anyway, Boo Boo Pharmacy's not far away. Let's take Shenhe there for a big medicinal meal. After all, you can't work on an empty stomach.
Так.
Do you think Shenhe might be
О, да,
in
реально недалеко.
It seems like it's her first time in Liyue Harbor, and she doesn't seem...
Are you here to buy some herbs? I do hope you brought your prescription.
Ginseng, glaze lily, and violet grass, please. Half a pound of each.
What kind of prescription is this? Sounds more like a lunch order. Oh, here you go. That's everything we have in stock.
Сейчас беру такой мешок.
She's really eating them.
My hunger has now abated. Thank you. Rather awful. Though they were not completely devoid of sweet fragrance. After consuming a large quantity of them, bitterness is all that remains.
How can you chow down on these and barely touch the restaurant food? If Paimon had enough Mora, Paimon would go to the fanciest restaurant in town and order a whole table of food and eat it all in one go.
Because I'm not sure whether I will remain here in the future. The food of the mortal realm is most delicious, but should I return to the mountains, yearning for the food here shall only pose an obstacle to my continued spiritual development. Sampling each dish in order to appreciate its taste is enough.
Return to the mountains! That proves it! Paimon knew she was an adeptus!
Enough about me. What are your plans from here?
Oh, right! Paimon almost forgot! We came out to take part in the Rebuild the Jade Chamber competition! And now we're probably super behind because we've been held up for so long.
I see. I heard something about the contest when I was passing by.
Yep! You get to ask Ningguang any question you want if you win! Were you interested in the contest too, Shenhe?
I came for the rebuilding of the Jade Chamber, but until this point I had no intention of joining a contest. However, you have shown me your kindness, and I would now like to lend you my assistance. Oh, don't worry. I ask for nothing in return.
Wow! You really don't have to. But having an adeptus help out will make things a whole lot easier.
Then let's not delay. I have a plan.
Great! Paimon bets this is gonna be the awesomest plan ever!
I am not sure whether or to what extent this plan can be classified as awesome. I do, however, believe it will be highly effective. We simply need to dispose of everyone who is currently ahead of us. Then, we alone shall become the victors.
Veto! That is not acceptable! Not by a long shot!
Really? But I hear that competition is in essence about conflict and one-upmanship.
Look, we want to win this competition fair and square, okay? Sunset Vermilionite, Wonder Cores, and Adepti Sigils. Let's start at the top of the list and work down. So, for Plastrite...
I was wondering who I could hear arguing over there. So, it's you.
Baishu? What are you doing out here?
Lady Ningguang wishes to purchase a large batch of wound dressing. We're running low at the store, so I came out to fetch the ingredients personally.
Huh? How come Lady Ningguang needs so much wound dressing all of a sudden?
I'm not too sure. I did hear she's looking to rebuild the Jade Chamber. Maybe for its first aid on site? I didn't ask, though. Far be it from me to pry into my customers' personal affairs. Oh, and she also borrowed Chi-Chi. Meaning Boo Boo Pharmacy is very short-handed right now. I don't suppose any of you are looking for part-time work by any chance?
No, we've got other stuff to do. While you're here though, you seem to know a lot. Have you ever heard of something called Sunset Vermilionite?
Ah, the variety of plostrite used in the Jade Chamber, yes? There is some mention of it in the 7 Mountain Treatises. When activated, sunset vermilionite rises up all the way into the clouds.
В это время попадаем.
It's very rare indeed. As far as the records show, virtually all sunset vermilionite in existence has been mined and taken possession of. But the Feiyun Commerce Guild would know far more about this than I do.
Okay then, let's go ask at the Feiyun Commerce Guild. Thanks, Baiju.
You're quite welcome. Good luck to you all. And if there's anything further you need from me, just come to the Boo Boo Pharmacy.
О, осталось чуть-чуть. Совсем чуть-чуть. Так. Надо бы собрать задание на самом деле потихоньку. Стой, девочка, стой. Так. Сейчас заберем. Угу. Окей. Так. Теперь сюда. Сейчас получим 30 и думаю, этого на сегодня хватит. Хотя я не думаю, то, что за них мало. Или они какие-то сложные, эти задания. Так. Блин, а? Не понял, это что там уже? А, это все тоже. Так, давай сначала сюда. Вон к ней. Зачем мне рекламный щит? А. Я бы почитал. Так, и последнее задание, которое находится где-то здесь наверху. А вон она. Так. Ага. Так, теперь смотри, у нас 200 опыта не хватает. Это 100 как раз. Точка телепортации. Так, получается. Ну да. Сейчас быстро это все сделаем. Ой. О, еще задание как раз по пути. Хорошо. Это сделано. Угу. Надо было спросить, у меня есть еще поручение, ну-ка. Ладно. Так, 100 плюс 150 где-то нужно. Угу. Так, теперь возвращаемся назад. Просто потом будет легче как-то проходиться это все, нежели сейчас в тупике стоять. Плюс заданий пока что дают много, почему бы не выполнять? Так, держи. Угу. Окей. Так, да, где-то 150 нужно. Так. Вот так вот. Так. Это, конечно, хорошая цена, но не до этого сейчас. Так. Вот ты как.
Master Xingqiu, thank goodness you're finally back.
Oh? Why do I detect an urgency?
The guild has had a whole string of strange orders in recently. Everyone's been... Your father gave me specific instructions to ask you to stay and help out.
I see. Have someone sort the orders by type for now.
Oh, how wonderful. Thank you, Master.
Hey, Xingqiu! Glad you're here. We want to ask you for some information.
Подожди. Я понял, это не...
Please wait a moment.
Я ничего не задел сюжет.
Sure. I need to entertain some guests. Please continue with your work for the time being, and we'll discuss the matter of the guild's orders in more detail later on.
Understood, Master Xingqiu. Then I will leave you in peace.
I wasn't counting on finding you here today. What's going on? And how, pray tell, may I be of service?
Xingqiu, have you ever heard of Sunset Vermilionite?
Oh, I see. So you've entered Lady Ningguang's contest as well.
As well? Do you mean...
The truth is, the Feiyun Commerce Guild is in possession of some Sunset Vermilionite, but only one piece. We are holding it on behalf of someone who has asked us to put it up for auction, and a lot of interested parties have already come to us inquiring about the price. At the end of the day, it all comes down to supply and demand. In this case, I'm guessing the final transaction price may be in excess of 500 million more.
500 million?!
Honestly, I would recommend that you don't bother bidding on this one. The price is greatly inflated, and it's just not worth it.
But without any Sunset Vermilionite...
Don't panic. I don't suppose you ever heard of Sea Gazer?
Who?
Sea Gazer was once very close to Mountain Shaper, but if I am not mistaken, he has already passed away.
Yes, precisely. I didn't know anyone else knew about him. According to records of drifting clouds, Sea Gazer once built an abode to store his rarest and most exquisite treasures, among which was some Sunset Vermilionite. After Sea Gazer passed, the abode was abandoned, and its location was lost to time. Luckily, I came into possession of a stack of folk history books just recently. They make some oblique references to this lost abode, and after cross-referencing them against each other, I'm now fairly certain that it is situated in the Lisha area.
That's great! But is it really okay for us to just go and take his treasure? Wouldn't it be a little, you know, disrespectful? With him being an Adeptus?
You needn't worry. As far as I understand, Sea Gazer was very open-minded. Even while he was alive, he wouldn't have let something like this bother him.
Open-minded? I have not heard of Sea Gazer being described in this way before. May I ask where you read that?
Just a rumor I heard out in the mountains. All right then, let's go.
Надо что-то скрывать.
There's something about this young lady that reminds me of a good friend of mine. Oh, I almost forgot. Adepti abodes tend to have very ingenious designs, especially when it comes to their defense mechanisms. Plus, it's likely to be crawling with monsters after being abandoned for so long. So please, be very careful.
Okay, we will be. Thanks, Xingqiu.
Да. Мы будем очень осторожны, и нам нужна вот эта доска. И момент истины. Хотя, думаю, мне, наверное, даже не хватит. О-о-о. Так. Так, за это мне... Хотя это было бы слишком, на самом деле, просто переписать. Опа. Подожди. Подожди. Что он там сказал? Вот что значит не читать, да? Разрешение... А, выход в море. Разрешение, выход в море. Вот. Окей.
A copy of each invoice is sent to the Ministry of Civil Affairs.
И занимается заданием созерцатель морей? Не понял. То есть... Это вот это дополнительно, блин. Да. Ну давай вот это тогда уж. Угу. Да. Кто бы мог подумать? Никто. Эх, сейчас бы еще сундучков штук 5 найти. Жух. Не знаю, откуда у меня, но я рад, что у меня это есть. Наверное, последний кусочек остался. О, герой здесь. Опа. Повышение уровня мира 2. С повышением уровня мира вы будете находить больше сокровищ, но и охраняющий их монстр станут сильнее. Зачем мир повысился? Может, не надо? А как я получил так? Да блин. А, это мне показывает, что я могу здесь делать. Пошли забирать, что поделаешь. Где они там находятся? Нет, просто по прямой побежим, ладно. Да уж.
Ad Astra Abyss.
Ого. Ага. Ага. О. Интересно. Окей. Ну, думаю, в итоге все пока что. Так, этот чайник так и будет висеть. Пайман так и будет, эти приколы. Да, пока что на этом все пока что завершим. А там уже посмотрим, когда по времени продолжим. Может, скоро. Так что сделаем пока что так вот. И на этом закончим.